Ford Focus.
All right, folks, my name is Robin Anderson here at Donnell Ford Lincoln in Salem, Ohio. Let me introduce you to the 2012 Ford Focus. If you'll notice, it's a dynamic design. I mean, the car looks like it's just ready to drive. I mean, you can tell that by the swept back front headlights, the swept forward grill tail lights, just ready to go. We'll start over here. The first thing I'm going to touch on is you have a capless fuel filter. Great concept. No longer am I going to leave my gas cap sitting on the tank when I'm filling it up. No longer is it going to be tethered so that it's banging up against my car and scratching it next to the gas cap. It's a capless fuel filter. This happens to be an SEL model. On the SEL, you're going to get 17-inch aluminum alloy wheels, which you'll see here. I already touched on the front swept rear tail lights. You also notice that they're wraparound taillights. The neatest thing about that is not only when you're backing up or braking, people can see you from the rear as well as from the side. They're also made out of Lexan plastic. It's actually a material that's used, NASA uses it on the space shuttle. The lens may crack, but it's never going to shatter like it was back in our day. If you walk around the back, Ford does have a 5-mile-per-hour bumper. So if I'm backing up or someone's pulling forward, as long as we're not going more than 5 miles per hour, it's not going to damage my bumper. It might scuff it a little bit, nothing that we can't buff out. You notice I have active park assist on here. Those are the sensors. What you're seeing there is when you get 6 feet within an object, as you're backing up, it's going to give you an audible beep. The closer you get, the interval of the beep is going to come a little bit stronger. Hang on one second, let me grab it. You'll notice in the SEL you've got a subwoofer in the trunk. It's 13.2 cubic feet of space in the trunk, best in its class. It's going to beat the Chevy Cruze by 1.1 cubic feet. A good way that I kind of judge a cubic foot is 1 cubic foot's like a brown grocery bag. So if you go to the grocery store, it's 1 cubic foot's about one brown grocery bag. So you can fit 13.2 grocery bags in the bag. Okay. If we come around here to the rear driver's side, I'm going to talk a little bit about safety. The vehicle's constructed, it's got an A pillar, it's got a B pillar, it's got a C pillar. It also has a steel intrusion beam that runs the length horizontally through the vehicle. Essentially, if I would strip away all the metal off of this vehicle, it's going to look like a NASCAR roll cage, is how it works. It also has a dynamic side impact protection. That's what's going to give you, what the intrusion beam down the side gives you. And it also has safety glass. Instead of convex, the glass is actually concave. So you can't tell by looking at it, but it's a little bit concave on the outside. The intention behind that is if you are in a side impact collision, God forbid, the glass is going to break out instead of break in. And the safety glass, the cool thing about that is if it does shatter or break, you can literally pick it up and roll it around in your hand. It's going to be like little pieces of marble. It's not going to be sharp or anything. And it's tough. I mean, it really is. I mean, you're not going to break it. I'm telling you, it's tough. All right, if I come up here to the front, I'll talk a little bit more when we get inside, but if I come here to the front, you're going to see it's a 6-way power seat on the SEL model. Power windows, power mirrors, power locks, tilt cruise, pretty much your standard stuff. The other thing they have done here is they've given you a lower seating level as well as a higher belt line. So you can see that the belt line's up above my belt, but the seat is down. They call it submarine seating. Essentially what that is, for lack of a better term, your tush is below your knees when you're sitting down. Ergonomically, it's a more comfortable ride. You're able to take longer trips without being uncomfortable. Okay. All right, we'll come around to the front. You'll see here that you got breakaway mirrors front and back. So if you're pulling into the garage and you hit it going in, it's going to break away. You're backing up, you hit it going back, you're not going to knock your mirror off. Okay. If you come around to the front, you're going to notice the bold design with a much larger Ford logo than you normally see. It's got a new redesign with a 3-panel grille. Just gives it a more aggressive look. All right, if I pop the hood, you're going to notice it's a 2-liter, 4-cylinder, variable timing, full fuel-injected engine. All right, the coolest thing here is you've got anything you see outlined in yellow is essentially operator level maintenance. That's something that you and I can do in our driveway, change the oil, fill up the washer fluid, things like that. Anything else, I would take it to a service department. The other thing, if you notice over here, these are called crumple zones. Essentially what they are is, God forbid you're in a front impact collision, Ford has come up with an aluminum breakaway motor mount design. Motor is mounted within the compartment with aluminum breakaway motor mounts. So again, if you're in a front end collision, essentially what's going to happen is the breakaway motor mounts are going to break away. The engine's going to drop down underneath the vehicle instead of going through the firewall into the passenger compartment. And what these crumple zones do is it acts like an accordion. So essentially the engine compartment is going to take the blunt of the force as opposed to the passenger compartment. All right, we'll come around to the side. If you go ahead and take a look in there, the steering wheel's got the auto controls. They're soft touch controls on the steering wheel. They're not hard buttons, they're all just soft touch. It's also equipped with Microsoft Sync. The sync system is really pretty neat. As long as your cell phone is Bluetooth compatible, we can sync your phone up with the radio, download all your contacts. Anytime you upload contacts, even in your living room, once you get in your car, it's going to go ahead and connect to the sync system and download the contacts. It's going to give you 911 emergency assist. It's going to give you turn-by-turn directions. It's going to give you traffic information. It's going to give you a vehicle health report. It's essentially, your car is going to tell you when it needs an oil change. You don't have to keep your eye on it. Other than that, I think that's it. This one is equipped with a moonroof. And essentially that's our 2012 Ford Focus. And we look forward to seeing you.